Mighty Joe at Gym Life Media.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest today, Dr. George T. So excited to have our doc in the house again. I got to talk to you at the Arnold. It was a pleasure getting to visit with you. And you're here with the Olympia University, but you're also here doing a ton of photo shoots, and you look amazing. You were on stage recently. You are a testament to good health and longevity, and I'm so impressed with everything you're doing.
Thank you.
And you look great. You always, you know, one thing about Dr. T is you always dress so sharp.
Yeah, I try to bring some class.
You do. He is always dressed.
I thought he
so
was
classy.
I thought he was an Venetian executive when he was walking around.
He is.
Yeah, like he owned the place.
He owns the place. When he walks in, Dr.
Yeah.
T owns everything. I mean, your skin looks great. You're in impeccable shape, and I mean, I don't know. I'm just bragging now about it.
Yeah.
It's about anti-aging.
It's part of the aging.
Anti-aging.
Anti-aging. That's
Yes.
right. That's right. And of course, you brought me your special
Olive oil.
olive oil all the way from Greece.
Yes.
Special stuff, guys. This is the
Good stuff.
one of the tips, right? One of the ways to
The
stay
sugar,
young.
yeah, for the cardiovascular health, for the good skin.
How often are you using this?
I consume this every day.
How much?
A large spoon, always, and I start my day by dripping a slice of whole grain bread into this in order to get some energy and fuel, but it's rich in polyphenols, which are antioxidants, that lower the LDL, they protect the vessels, okay? So I'd rather eat this rather than, for instance, peanut butter.
Right. I love that. So, I don't know, Joe, you've been following Dr. T a little bit and what he's doing with his studies and his...
Well, testosterone studies, yeah, obviously, because it's become such a big thing now in our culture that I'm recognizing now, being a little bit older, that a lot of what we're seeing happen is really taking shape over the last 10 or 12 years with the amount of information that's being shared about how much of an effect it has on longevity, health, and really aging.
Right.
And I think it's becoming now more mainstream, it seems. But I guess one of the big questions I've always had is more or less not necessarily the abuse of it, but the information that's getting out there that isn't accurate. And I know watching your seminars, it's really opened my eyes to a lot of the truth. And it just...
The truth.
Yeah, and
right,
kind of...
getting the truth out
It
about
took away
it.
a lot of sort of like the things that social media is making up about testosterone, TRT replacement and usage, that sort of thing. I mean, can you kind of give us just a little bit of a backstory on how this has sort of evolved for you and kind of where you started and where your philosophies come today?
So personally, I'm following replacement therapy since 2014 when I retired from bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny I was using...
You said you retired from bodybuilding?
Yeah, right?
As an athlete, 2013.
I mean, he just was on stage recently.
I know,
like,
right? Yeah,
Just recent.
I mean, I did for photo shooting, but
That's
I
just for
retired
fun,
from
though.
stage. Yeah. So I'm not going to deny that I was using compounds in order to enhance my performance.
Yeah.
Okay. And after I retired at the age of 40, I became in a state of low testosterone.
Right.
That means hypogonadal, all right?
Yeah.
So I faced the facts and I saw that I couldn't restart my own production. Plus the fact we age because our hormones decline.
Yes.
So a man hits the middle age crisis at the 40s, and then every year, annually, the testosterone declines 1%.
Yes.
So I went to my mentor, finding my mentor in Italy, my alter ego, Dr. Massimo Spatini. We started using testosterone from 2015, 7 years now in a row. And it's about optimization and replacement the levels to youthful state, okay, of teenagers. It's not about abuse, it's nothing about super physiological doses.
Right.
So there's a misconception from the doctors, and they demonize, and they have a lot of prejudice and skepticism because they blame testosterone as an anabolic steroid that's actually the main androgen. So men cannot live without androgens as women cannot live without estrogens.
Right.
But most of all, it's about replacement and having optimized levels.
Right.
So it's not, let's say, abusing testosterone to get jacked, but to be physically and mentally healthy.
Yes.
That's another thing. Of course, the body composition improves, but this is not the priority. The priority is to avoid diabetes, metabolic syndrome, obesity, depression, muscle wasting, anemia, fatigue, fragile bones, osteoporosis, and usually low testosterone is linked to higher mortality. And I have to tell you, in the ICU, all the victims of COVID were of low testosterone. All of them.
Wow.
Wait, can you say that again? Because I couldn't hear you over here.
In the ICU of the COVID, okay, all of the victims were of low testosterone. All of them.
And that's something. Yeah.
There were people over 70 in bad shape, and they give you a stack of steroids, catabolic steroids, which is cortisone. You have all this stress, and your testosterone goes down. And statistically, the men that enter the ICU with low levels of testosterone have higher mortality rates. If you enter the hospital eugenetic, it's more likely to survive.
Yeah.
Why? Because as testosterone goes down, you develop visceral fat.
Yeah.
The visceral fat releases inflammatory cytokines that participate in the cascade of the COVID inflammation. So low T, you're screwed.
Yeah. How are we seeing the effects of low testosterone more in men at a lesser age than we ever have from outside influences nowadays? We talk about guys in their early 30s now with testosterone tests very, very low.
It's a fact that the new generation lives a sedentary lifestyle with lousy nutrition.
Yeah.
All they do is video games. They lack of physical activity. They don't eat organic foods. They are insomniac. They have a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And actually, this generation has lower testosterone than our generation, and our generation lower than our parents, and our parents than our grandparents.
Yeah.
So it's all the way down, okay? So literally there's extinction of the male.
I was going to say, that evolution in society is a de-evolution, really, that's taking place.
Yes.
It's amazing to me, and that's what I got from listening to some of your seminars. Very eye-opening, because we often associate testosterone with physical, the getting stronger, getting bigger. Our culture kind of dictates that, certainly around here.
Right.
But that's really not what we're talking about.
Right.
That is just an effect of it if you're doing things and getting your levels back up to where they need to be to operate at a state of homeostasis that allows you to be feeling good again, right?
So I've been on a hormone replacement therapy with a gentleman that runs a company, owns a company out of Chicago, so everything's online. And I use it. So I use a topical that's an amount per woman. And I've been on that for probably the last almost 10 years now.
That's testosterone, right?
Yeah. And a progesterone. So.
Estrogens also.
Pardon?
Estrogens also, DHEA.
Yeah, so, right, a DHEA as well. And then I've had a lot of women come and tell me, well, I'm taking the pellet, so there's all this different ideas of what is the best form to get. So do you have I know you have an opinion, but can you share your opinion on what is the best form, or does it depend on the person?
Yeah, usually we use transdermal testosterone applied in the skin on a daily basis, and this has the benefit.
So the
topical here, over the wrists, forearms, or down the scrotum. Now the benefit of this is, number one, steady levels. Every day you take your dose. You don't have fluctuations. Right. Number two, you avoid injections, pinning, and blood.
Right.
For some people that are not familiar with the injection thing, they don't come from the bodybuilding community, this is more evitable, okay?
Right.
It's easier to follow.
Well, that's what I've been doing, is a topical like that. So.
Well, there's no injectable estrogen, for instance, or progesterone for women. So women HRT just creams and orals and pills. Now, there's also the injectable for the men, and the new protocol that comes from the West, from the States, it says microdosing frequently rather than doing larger doses less apart, okay? And this has to do also with the half-life and the frequency to avoid fluctuation of the metabolites.
Yeah.
More steady levels.
Does subcutaneous now is becoming more of a thing in the culture as well? What are your thoughts on that?
The benefit of subcutaneous is that you avoid the scar tissue.
Yeah, okay.
Because you inject into the fat. The point is, if you're super lean, let's say below 10%, and you have a six-pack, you create some lumps of oil when you inject oil into the fat. Okay. But apart from this, the disadvantage of the subcutaneous is that it's not that rapidly absorbed just if it goes straight to the bloodstream into the muscle.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Like the intramuscular.
Yes.
So it will reach eventually the bloodstream, but slower.
Gotcha. But if you're doing it regimented, like you said, every day,
Yes.
Eventually that curve gets to where it needs to be.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, amazing. This is amazing.
I know, he's got a lot of
Yeah.
information.
I love it. Yeah.
And I know you have some information on women and training with weights and why it's so important for women to train
This
with
is
weights.
the philosophy we have to implement, because if I have to decide between walking on a treadmill and lifting weights,
All right.
for fat loss, lifting weights is better because it tones your body, it sculpts your structure, but mostly it boosts your metabolic rate by building muscle. And muscles is #1 caloric expenditure tissue in the body. Okay, just walking doesn't boost the BMR unless it's high intensity. All right. So women are afraid to bulk, but the point is, only if you get fat you bulk. Okay.
Right, right.
That's why bodybuilders have tiny midsections, because they are low in fat. So
Right.
fat doesn't occupy space; the muscle occupies.
I like that. Fat doesn't occupy space.
I'm sorry.
Occupy space.
but
Yeah.
That's why you have the V taper.
Well, you'd mentioned you've been on testosterone for about 10 years through the cream. However, it's kind of a new. It's not really been recognized by a lot of women.
Right.
It's more recently been talked about.
Right,
Are
right.
are you seeing more of that come your way as far as testosterone usage in women and
Yes.
and requirements?
Listen, usually we don't apply androgens to women, but women as men need a little bit of the opposite hormones for better sex drive. Besides, in women, testosterone matures the bones.
Okay.
Because it's converted to estrogen that
Yeah.
also favor the mineral density, but also testosterone reabsorbs calcium, and calcium feeds the bone.
Yeah.
Women need testosterone, but a very tiny
Microdosing.
portion, 0.5%.
Yeah. Because often you don't associate women with testosterone, but yeah.
But also you can use DHEA that converts to testosterone,
Okay.
and it's a safer approach.
I got you. Okay. Yeah.
So, Dr. T, when are you speaking at the university, or have you already?
I just gave a lecture today on the
Okay.
importance of the muscle tissue as a metabolic regulator.
Just
So,
what we just talked on.
If
for
you
a
lack
split
of
second.
muscle, you develop diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome that lead to cardiovascular disease. You're more vulnerable to immunity issues. And tomorrow there's a round table with Rick Collins, the attorney,
Oh, yes.
speaking about the steroid culture.
Yes, I would love to get to that, honestly.
I know, right? I know there's so many
Yeah.
great speakers
Yeah.
at the university that I wish we could do both.
Next time we'll make it a point.
Right, it's like,
Yeah, we'll
we're
get those
here.
media passes and we'll get in there so we can watch these guys.
We
yeah.
won't be interviewing anyone then.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll be learning. Yeah. Thank you.
So, Dr. T, one last thing. You've got a book out,
Yes.
Yeah, the Bible of bodybuilding.
the Bible of bodybuilding.
Yes.
And you did an edit. It was an edit
I'm
coming.
going to edit this on January with extra Q&As. So I'll
Yeah.
give you a new copy of the Arnold.
Yeah. And
With Alex Ardenti do the photo shooting.
yeah.
That's right. And how many photo shoots have you done just this week? Was it with
Alex
Alex
Ardenti and Bert Bernal.
Per Bernal?
Now,
Yeah.
the Bert Bernal picture will be on the February issue of Muscle Development,
Hey,
and a small portion on the cover also.
nice! Congratulations.
Yes.
I had it very hard, 1 year now to be in shape again. And Per is an artist.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the old school photographers are just unbeatable. Like, I loved all of them. There were so many. There's about 5 or 6 that are just really the staple. And her and Alex. Alex was one of my first photo shoots ever, in '94, for the bodybuilding fitness
Yeah,
industry.
you had with Milos and Frank Seppi and Alex photo shooting.
Yes. Yeah, really good. Well, it's so awesome to get to see you
Yeah.
again. It's been fun keeping up with all of your adventures. And I bet Greece is just beautiful.
Oh boy. Wow.
That would be an amazing,
plus great food.
amazing place
Yeah.
to come visit. So,
It's good for the summer, yes.
Yeah.
good summer. Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Quite an
T.
honor. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very
Awesome,
much.
awesome. All right, guys,
Yep.
don't go anywhere. We're going to come back with some more awesome interviews here in the Monica Brant Show.